Slope-Intercept form and graphing. So a quick review of intercepts. The x-intercept of a linear equation is the x-coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. And the y-intercept of a linear equation is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. And the most important one of these two today is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, we're looking for where does our line cross the y, and we can see right here is the y-intercept where the red line is crossing the y-axis. So what is the y-intercept of this blue line? Well, I can look up and down the y, and if I look up and down the y, if I start at 0, I go up 1, 2, 3 spaces. The y-intercept is at 3. How about that line? Where's the y-intercept? Look up and down the y. Okay, go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Y-intercept is at -4. How about the pink line? Y-intercept at 1, 2, -3. The green line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just finding where does the line cross the y. And how about this orange line? It crosses the origin. It crosses at 0, 0. It crosses the y at 0. So the intercepts are where, the y-intercepts are where does your line cross the y-axis. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And when an equation is in this form, we can look at the number in front of the x, and that number will give us the slope. And the number at the end, the constant value, will give us the y-intercept. So for example, if we're given the equation y equals 5x plus 2, the number in front of the x, the coefficient of x is 5, so our slope is 5. And the constant at the end, or the b value, is 2. So the great thing about slope-intercept form is without doing any math, we can just look at the equation and identify the number in front of the x as the slope and the number at the end as the y-intercept. And we know that slope is rise over run, and when we're graphing, the numerator would tell you to go up or down. If it's positive, we go up, negative, we go down. And with the slope, the denominator will tell you how far to run, left or right, positive to the right, negative to the left. So those are key concepts to write down for rise and run. And when we're graphing, if the top number is positive, we're going up, negative, we're going down. That's the rise part, or the change on the y. And the denominator tells you how far to run, that's the run part, left or right, positive to the right, negative to the left. That's the change on the x-axis. So we're still talking about rise over run, the change on the y over the change in the x. So let's say we have a slope of 1/3. What would that mean for moving up, down, left, right? Well, a positive 1 would be up 1, and a positive 3 would be right 3. How about 2 over -1? Well, that's a positive 2, so we can go up 2, and a -1 would indicate left 1. How about -2/3? Well, a negative in front of a fraction, we can use the negative with the top number or the bottom number, but not both. So I have to pick, and depending on my graph, I might want to pick with the top or the bottom. But if I used it with the top, I would have down 2, right 3. Or if I use a negative with the bottom number, I would have up 2 and left 3. Either way, it's going to graph the exact same line. So you might want to use it depending on how your graph, how much room you have in the graph space you have to work with. So if I'm given y equals 3x plus 2, we should be able to look at that and identify the y-intercept. So what number do we have where the b value is in y equals mx plus b? We have plus 2. What is the slope? Well, the slope is the coefficient of x, or the number in front of x. So we have a 3 for the slope. And what is 3 as a fraction? Well, I can turn any number into a fraction by just putting a 1 under it. So I could do 3 over 1. And what would 3 over 1 mean for up, down, left, right? Well, positive 3 over positive 1. If the top number is positive, that means up. So we're talking about up 3. And the bottom number is positive, so we're talking about right 1. So a slope of 3, or 3 over 1, would indicate up 3 and right 1. So when it comes to graphing y equals 3x plus 2, my first number, my positive 2, this number is always going to be somewhere on the y. And so from plus 2, I could start with the origin, go up 2 spaces, and put on my y-intercept at positive 2. Then from that point, not from the origin, but from that point, I'm going to count, I'm going to use my slope to add additional points. So from this point, I can go up 1, 2, 3 spaces and right 1. You do both moves before you make the point and put my point there. Then I can connect the points with a straight line, and we want to include 2 arrows because it goes on forever in both directions. All right, let's look at a new example. We have y equals negative 2x plus 3. It's in slope-intercept, so I should be able to look at it, identify the y-intercept, identify the slope. Well, the y-intercept, that's the number here at the end without a variable. So we have plus 3 for the y-intercept. What is the slope? Well, in y equals mx plus b, the slope is m. This is our m value, is negative 2. And what is negative 2 as a fraction? Well, I can make any number a fraction by putting a 1 under it. So I can do negative 2 over 1. And what does a slope of negative 2 over 1 indicate for moving up, down, left, right? Well, negative 2 would be down 2, and positive 1 would be right 1. So now I think I'm ready to graph this. So what is the y-intercept? Well, at positive 3, I'm going to go on the y. Start at the origin. I can go up 1, 2, 3, put my y-intercept. And then my slope is negative 2. Down 2, right 1. And I can go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1 as many times as I want. And just connect them with my 2 arrows going through those points. And sometimes you have more room to work with. You want to use a straight edge, a ruler, some type of card. You could even take a dollar bill and fold it long ways and use that. Any of those work great as straight edges. All right, you guys pause the video here and graph y equals 3x minus 2. All right, so we have a y-intercept at negative 2, so I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go down 2 for y-intercept at negative 2, and then I need to use my slope to add additional points. Well, my slope is 3. 3 as a fraction would be 3 over 1. So from this point, I can count up 3, right 1, go up 3, right 1, and then I can just connect the points with a straight line that includes 2 arrows. Looks like that. What if there's no constant? What if I just have y equals 3x? Well, if there's no constant, that's a proportional relationship. That's going through the origin. But you can add a 0 there if it makes you feel more comfortable that you're in slope-intercept form, because adding 0 doesn't change the value of the equation. Or you can just know that it doesn't have a constant at the end. It's proportional. It's going through the origin. What if there's no number in front of the x? Let's say I have y equals x minus 5. If there's no number in front of the x, that's the same as 1x that's there. And 1x would be the fraction 1 over 1. So for graphing purposes, that would just be up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So what if we're graphing and we run out of room with a slope like 5 over 2. If I want to go up 5 and right 2 and I'm out of space, well, I can use an equivalent fraction. 5 over 2 is equivalent to negative 5 over negative 2, because a negative divided by negative is a positive number. So I could go down 5 and left 2 would make the graph of the exact same line. Quick review, when you run into a horizontal line, if you have like y equals 4, you would just go up to 4 on the y and draw a straight flat horizontal line. And if you have x equals a number like x equals 4, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces on the x and draw a straight up and down line where x is always 4. So no matter what the y is, the x stays 4. Those are vertical and horizontal lines. Hope that helps you guys with slope-intercept form. Have a great day.